notice on my building, I started going through compliance with the state, the county, and then the city. I didn't see that I couldn't stop advertising. When I was here December 9th for court, Inspector Jolly told me to take it off. I went home, immediately took it off the website. I always wanted to be a good citizen and do everything right, but the $3,900 is really, I'm on a fixed income,
Okay.
and I would appreciate it if you could lower it.
Sure, okay.
I'm in compliance right after with all the points that I had to go through.
Why didn't you file for the appeal? That's what's gotten you into this in the first
I
place.
was here in December 9th. I thought I was here for that. And
Okay.
that's when the fine was issued. And when I saw Mr. Jolly, he said, you can go for lien reduction, because I was
Okay.
shocked.
Okay,
Then right away took it off the site, like I said, and I thought like $150 would be for my negligence. I didn't know, and I just wanted to follow the rules. And I was going through all those steps since I got that notice, and I was just working towards compliance from day one.
Sir, do you live at 301 Northeast 15th Street?
303. The building is 301, 303, 305. 305 is the Airbnb.
did you want to say anything else?
No, I'm just curious because the property's homesteaded, so
Oh, okay,
that's all.
all right. All right, I'm going to reduce the fine to $500 with 60 days to pay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Our next case is on page 2. Case number CE 211-00304, case address 736 Northeast 16th Street, owner Claude Franklin Tice. This case has a total lien value of $5,000 and city direct cost of $315.48, and the city is requesting $2,500. This was a citation and no appeal was received before the deadline.
Okay. Please state your name.
Claude Franklin Tice. Basically what it was, to make a long story short, my only daughter lives here in Fort Lauderdale, and she just graduated. She's a pharmacist for CVS. And so we bought a property, and I hired, and we live in Texas, and I hired a gentleman to Airbnb it. And so really it was two factors, being in Texas, and then once we came here and we found out what was going on, not being knowledgeable how to go about the whole process, but that's my fault, not yours. But and I didn't really understand the language of the letter, so I didn't know to really appeal. And I didn't. Once we found out everything and finally got a hold of everybody, we did the compliance issues. But I was like, I think some other people here, I didn't know it was being advertised, and I didn't see that in the print. But it's there. But I didn't see it, and so it was just a lot of it was being out of state, lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
and we had.
Unfortunately, we have a lot of out-of-state people that
Yeah.
own properties in Florida, and we have to enforce it the
Right.
code's just
Right.
like if you were a Florida citizen. But I understand,
We had a couple other factors too, but that's family matters.
yeah, I did read that your wife's father was dying at the time, and I did look at this file, and the fact that once you got the notice, you stopped renting it, which bodes well for me as a
Right.
mitigation factor.
That was like for 2 months almost, I think. We didn't really.
Okay, all right, and it was only out of compliance for 25 days, so I'm gonna reduce the fine to $750 with 60 days to pay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Our next case is on page 2. Case number CE 180800519, case address 1448 Southeast 13th Street, owner WFPAO Holdings LLC. This case has a total lien value of $63,750 and city direct cost of $1,755.94. and the city is requesting $31,848.
Good morning, Your Magistrate.
Good
Jordan
morning.
Wagner on behalf of WFPAO Holdings and
Okay.
also the previous owner, 1549 Southeast 14th Street, LLC. It's our position, the new owner is in possession of the property. They took the ownership out of foreclosure through a quitclaim deed,
Uh-huh.
subject to the city's lien on the property. From my conversations with the previous owner, once they received the notice of the noncompliance, they did cease using the property as a Airbnb any further. What they failed to do on their own negligence, what I would call it, is actually contact the city to close out the violation,
Which is what they're told they need to do.
which was what they were told to need to do, and now now I'm involved trying to help the new owner resolve this lien on the property. No one was hurt. I don't think there was frequent violations. I think it was this one lien that has just been accumulating since 2018. At the same time, shortly thereafter, the property did end up in foreclosure. So I think the owner was scrambling and panicking and trying to figure out what to do. The city was named in the foreclosure lawsuit, and then this buyer did come along to agree to take the property subject to whatever liens are on the property, understanding that we could only ask the city's benevolence in this situation, and they're offering to pay 10% immediately or within the 60 days.
The problem I have with this is obviously your client understands that when he takes the property, he takes subject to any liens that are on the property.
Unfortunately, yes.
This, how much was the property purchased for?
$2.7 million
Okay. All right,
in
so,
September of 2021, and the foreclosure lawsuit had been pending, was commenced shortly after the fine was recorded. April of 19, the lien was recorded, the list pendants went on the property November of 19, and that's when property was in foreclosure, and my client ended up buying it out. I recommended he buy it at foreclosure sale with the lien would possibly be foreclosed out. He chose to take it through a quitclaim deed, and here we are today.
yeah. And so you take responsibility for the other guy's mistakes, and he walked away with a big pile of money.
Well,
Probably.
he was upside down. He ended up not necessarily walking away with a pile of money, but he got out of foreclosure. The first lender was paid off.
Because my review of the file shows that there were police complaints at this, that even after he was told to stop renting it, he continued to rent it. He failed to submit an affidavit when he took it just went on for a very long time, 225 days. And all he had to do was to take the advertisement down and stop renting it.
Yep.
So, I find it hard for me to be lenient when he just seemed to thumb his nose at the whole process.
Yeah, that's not what I was advised by the previous owner's representative. Their position was that it was immediately seized, but you have information that says otherwise, so that's new to me. I apologize for not being prepared on that front. All I could ask is benevolence and to consider the offer from WFPAO Holdings to purchase or to pay the city 10% is what they're offering within the 60 days.
Okay. I also, in looking at the short sale documents, noted that the net proceeds would be not less than 1.3 million. Is this still in, I also saw that a bankruptcy was filed, so is this still in?
I'm not aware of any bankruptcy or any any short sale proceeds on,
Okay,
what I'm looking at is that the foreclosure, it was dismissed once, TVC funding to LLC was satisfied from the proceeds of the sale. So
Okay.
I don't believe there was any net proceeds.
all right. I'll reduce it to $18,000 with 90 days to pay.
Okay. Thank you. Will I get something in the mail?
Yes, you'll get an order.
Thank you, Your Magistrate.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 3. Case number CE 211-00455. Case address 1516 Southwest 25th Street. Owners Thomas and Ileana Doherty. This case has a total lien value of $8,200 and city direct costs of $446.82. The city is requesting $4,100, and this was a citation and no appeals were received before the deadline.
Hello, Thomas Dougherty. I just wanted to say that I do apologize for the delay in me getting this certification. I was under the understanding that the Broward County tax certificate and the state of Florida hotel and restaurants was sufficient, and I don't live at the property. The individuals that went in to clean the property on October 22nd sent me the picture of the notice on the door or on the wall. And at that point, I started to work with the city through email communications to understand the process of what needed to be done. And through that process, it took me quite a while to educate myself and get what I needed. One of the biggest delays was my lack of understanding of the sales tax. And once I figured that out and I had to get it notarized, I did that. Then I was made aware of the court hearing on the 9th of December, which I did attend. And the fine was assessed. And at that point, I was told after that court hearing with the city that I had to take down the property from the listing, which I had my property manager do immediately. It took 2 days for them to get it off of Airbnb. And then at that point, I applied for the lien reduction, and I had to take pictures of the property. And I was told that the sod on the property needed to be replaced because it wasn't within guidelines. So I expensed $2,500 to pretty much that's how much sod needed to be put on the property in the backyard and the front yard, and I did that. And now I'm here today in front of you asking you for leniency on the fines.
Okay, all right. The file did mention some financial difficulties, and it was your wife's mom that was very sick. And
It's my mom. She's in
okay.
assisted living.
All right, I'm going to reduce the fine to $800 with 90 days to pay.
Okay, thank you. Will I receive something in the mail?
Yes, you'll see something in there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 6. Case number CE 1710-1456. Case address 2724 Northeast 21st Terrace. Owners John and Maria Grad. This case has a total lien value of $93,900 and city direct cost of $1,784.08, and the city is requesting $28,170.
Good morning, Your Magistrate. My name is Aurora Penalver, and my co-counsel is Stephanie Miranda, and we're here on behalf of the court-appointed trustee, Danuta Radomski. This is a matter involving a disrepair of a seawall. The homeowners, John and Maria Grad, have both passed away, and the estate of Maria Grad is currently being probated in Ontario, Canada. So Danuta Radomski has been appointed trustee or personal representative in our case in Florida. The issue with this matter is that Mrs. Grad passed away in March 30, 2019. She already had received notice of violation of noncompliance or this repair of the seawall, but she had fallen ill in 2018. She wasn't here, they were in Canada. And I think that really the issue here is the delay caused by the the fact that Ms. Radomski was not appointed trustee and didn't have authority, legal authority to do anything until January 12, 2021. When she did get appointed, she immediately contacted a company here in Florida. What's the name of it? Anchor Seawall Inc. And they did the repair within a month of her appointment. Thereafter, she contacted and had the city go out for an inspection. There was a delay in the city going out, and I just asked if the leniency. I think she did a very wonderful job in doing as best she can under the circumstances.
Okay. I see that there was an offer for $5,000. Is that from the estate?
Yes, that's from the estate proceedings, and it's ongoing, and we will have to do probate here in Florida as well. So if it's anything that could be reduced below 5,000, I would appreciate that if it's possible.
Okay.
When did Mr. Grad pass away?
Mr. Grad passed away on October 15, 1993.
Because the title to the property is still in both of their names.
I
It's
know.
not in an estate.
No, I know, we have to do probate proceedings for Mrs. Grad. You do the probate proceedings for the last one to die, you just submit the death certificate. The property was under husband and wife, so it automatically, upon his passing, it passed to Maria Grad.
No, I understand that. I'm a lawyer.
Okay,
But,
sorry.
but the title to this day is still in both of their names. I'm going to let the property appraiser know. I'm just telling you right now.
No, that's fine.
That's why I asked, because the title is very outdated and you don't have to go through probate proceedings to get that changed.
Right, we're gonna commence ancillary proceedings here in Florida. We were just waiting for Ms. Radomski to give us the go-ahead.
No. Okay, is there anything else?
I was just wanted to let them know because I'm letting
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
the appraiser know.
you know, unfortunately, this property was out of compliance for like 1,111 days. But I understand that she was ill, and I certainly want to take that into consideration. And I don't know, can you enlighten me as to why it took so long to appoint a trustee
Well, I'm not really familiar with probate proceedings
in Canada? Yeah.
but I know here they can be lengthy, and the fact is that she didn't have any children. So Ms. Radomski is an attorney, and she was her confidant. So I imagine the judge did a further analysis.
The thing is
situation.
because it was done so long, I mean, the costs alone are $1,800, so. All right, I am going to reduce the fine to $5,800 with 90 days to pay.
Thank you so much, Your Majesty. Appreciate
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 5. Case number CE 17040778. Case address 1636 Northwest 9th Avenue. Owner Odiles Escarment. This case has a total lien value of $107,800 and city direct cost of $1,098.34. And the city is requesting $43,120.
Hi, good morning. I am Sharon Hollis, and I am here to represent Odalis Escarment.
Okay,
This case stems back from about 2017 for a simple case of removing trash from the yard and cleaning up. The owners never received any information in regards to certified mail in terms of the procedure after they clean up. This was done way back, but they have no knowledge that after the yard was cleaned up and the stuff in the yard was removed, that they had to go back before the court and explain themselves in reference to it being complied. If there was any certified mail that was sent to the house, they had no knowledge of that either. It wasn't received. However, we are here at this point where the surviving owner right now, most of his siblings that lived with him, that helped him with paying the mortgage on this house has passed away due to COVID. He's the only one left right now, and he's in a position where he actually cannot afford to keep this home and to live. I have no interest in the property. We have not interest in it at all. We are just here to help him get situated into a proper living.
Did he also have COVID?
He had COVID also. He suffered some respiratory illness due to it, but he has recovered, and he's trying to recuperate and gain employment. So at this time, even the reduction that you gave of 43,000 is really a lot that he really cannot pay, and we are here at your mercy asking for you to reduce it to somewhere below $5,000, which is much more feasible. And if there could be a payment plan or something to that effect that can happen, we appreciate that also. But the property is complied, everything is done. It's we sodded the property, we put grass in, and everything is in full compliance at this point.
Okay.
So we are really asking for your help in reducing this exorbitant fee.
Okay. All right, due to the financial circumstances and health issues for the owners and people that were financially responsible, and it appears that they primarily complied a lot of these, but did not call for an inspection, and it was out of compliance then for 287 days. There was also a prior foreclosure on it. Is there a pending sale?
We are trying to get it sold at this point, so at least he can recoup a little monies to get a place to live. We're not sure if the sale is going to go through, but we're trying diligently to get it sold. That's why, and that's how we found out about the lien, because there were no certified mail, there was nothing at this point, and they had no knowledge.
Do you know what he's going to net from the sale of the property?
From my knowledge, I don't think he would be gaining anything much, because the house is pretty much upside down, and if the sale goes through, I don't think he would even come out with $10,000 to $15,000. So I don't think it's a benefit to him. It's just a liability for him to move on and get a place to stay, so he doesn't become homeless.
Okay. All right, I'll reduce the fine to $4,800 with 90 days to pay.
Okay, I will receive something in the mail in
Yes.
reference to 48.
Yes.
4,800.
Uh-huh.
That's the best we can do, Your Honor, in
Yes.
terms of reducing it.
Yes, that's the best I can do.
Thank you so much. I still appreciate it from 43 to 48. Thank you.
Our next two cases are on pages 3 and 4. On page 3, we have case number CE 17052031, case address 1534 Northwest 8th Avenue, owner Edelyn Theodore. This case has a total lien value of $18,300 and city direct cost of $1,179.95, and the city is requesting $9,150. On page 4, case number CE 18052482, case address 1534 Northwest 8th Avenue. This case has a total lien value of $41,100 and city direct cost of $1,137.74, and the city is requesting $20,550.
Good morning, Your Magistrate. As for the first case,
Please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry, good morning. My name is Edelyn Theodore.
Okay.
As for the first case, I was never aware. My family owned the property since 1996, around, I don't recall the exact year, but I believe that case probably took place after Wilma, which we were out of the property because after Wilma, the house was completely destroyed. We had to repair the house, so we were out of that property for an entire 16 months. So whatever this was, we weren't aware of it. And it says it's about a vehicle. And at that time, we did not have no vehicle in the property. But then again, that neighborhood, if you're not living there, like constantly watching things,
So the property was vacant, but someone else was storing a car on the property? Why
most
didn't you just have
likely,
it towed?
but we weren't aware of it. Like the second case, if you see, that was in 2018, even though I was coming here asking for help with the second case, this case was never known to me.
Okay.
So I was not aware until I decided to sell this property last year, then this come up. We were never aware that's something that I could have done come and ask for, so I could have get rid of this. I tried to be a good citizen. I tried to comply with the city, including for the second case. I did not know that I had to call the gentleman that was handling the case to close out the case, because I did comply. The last time I was here was January 2019. And the magistrate that was here gave me the last deadline to get those taken care of, which I did. I just didn't know. I thought that the city continuously go around the neighborhood and they check out things. I didn't know I was supposed to call them to come over to check those things out. And I had reside at the property on one side, and one side I rented, and continuously I was having problem with the tenants that wasn't paying, that wasn't keeping it up to code, but I was
I thought you said it was
continuously-
vacant earlier.
For the first case back in 2005, right after Wilma, the place was destroyed. After we got it fixed,
The first case is a 2017 case, and the second case is a 2018 case.
okay, the 2018 case is the one that was compliant. The 2017 case, I was not aware of this at all. So I thought that's something that started way before I was back in the property.
Okay. And so whose vehicle was it?
I don't know, and that's one thing too. The last letter they sent me with the model, I never owned that vehicle. From the moment I know myself, I know that I had Toyota, I had a Chevy, but never that model that they mentioned in the letter. I never owned such vehicle.
Okay. All right, and why did it take so long, 219 days to comply on the second case?
On the second case, I did comply. Like I said, I just didn't know I was supposed to call Mr. Caracas to come back to close out the case. I did comply. It was about trash, but then again, there was, consent with one of my tenants, but I always make sure that I comply. Whatever the city asks me to do, I do. Even till today now that I got this case, I was constantly in contact with the person handling that case, making sure I'm doing things. I'm sending pictures showing that I'm doing what they asked me to do.
And you were living in Port St. Lucie at the time, taking care of your mom?
Correct.
Okay.
It's because of all of this I had to sell the property because it was getting to be a bit too much.
I thought you just said you were living on one side and the other side was rented out.
I was until I sold the property.
Okay. I'm a little confused.
I was living, I'm sorry?
I'm a little confused because I thought you said that you were living in Port St. Lucie taking care of your mom. I read that in the file, and then you just said you were living on one side and renting the other side. So
I was living in one side until 2018, right after this case started.
okay.
I was living on one side.
Okay.
But this was taken care of when I moved to Port St. Lucie to take care of my mom.
Okay, so if this happened in 2017 with the derelict vehicle and you were living in the property, why didn't you notice it?
But that's what I'm saying. This derelict vehicle in 2017, I never owned such vehicle, and this vehicle was not in the property. Because the letter that I received about this derelict vehicle was way before 2017. So I don't know how we get 2017.
Okay,
I never owned this vehicle.
all right. When did you sell the property and what did you net from the sale?
We asked $350,000 for it. We didn't get that. I ended up with 113,000, and that property not just only owned by me, it's owned by 4 family members. So we had to split that amount. And out of the amount that we get, ESCO ended up holding $65,000 for this.
Okay.
Your Honor, the record in Broward County Property Appraiser indicates it was sold for $350,000. And interestingly and inexplicably, it was sold by a warranty deed with no exceptions on the violations.
I have the paper right here of what I get back from it.
She asked what the property was sold for.
Oh yeah, but with everything that come off, $350,000 didn't come to me. $350,000 didn't come to
You
me.
just testified that you.
You asked me how much
Don't speak while I'm speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I thought you just testified that you wanted 350, but didn't get 350 for the property.
Correct.
Okay, so now you tell me the property sold for 350, but you did not net 350.
I thought when you asked me how much I got, that's the reason I told you I got 113,000 for it.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I've been coming in front of you, but it's still a bit shaky, especially when you're not a pro at discussing everything. This is the reason I have this paper right here I brought with me.
all right.
Your Honor, I try to comply with everything I can. I try to live within the law. I follow rules. I follow whatever order I'm giving.
Okay, I'm gonna reduce the fine. Let me just do some math here. I'm gonna reduce the fine to $9,000 with 90 days to pay.
9,000.
Yes,
Both cases, right, Your Honor?
for both cases, yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I thank you for your time. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next two cases are on page 1. Case number CE 11100226, case address 216 Southwest 19th Street, owner 216 Properties and Management LLC. This case has a total lien value of $72,950 and city direct cost of $765.95, and the city is requesting $29,180. Also on page 1, case number CE 15061184, case address 216 Southwest 19th Street, owner 216 Properties and Management LLC. This case has a total lien value of $2,500 and city direct cost of $829.06, and the city is requesting $1,000.
Okay, please state your name for the record. Okay, and tell me what you want to tell me in mitigation of this fine.
Well, I'll deal with the second case first, which is the roof. I think we can accept the city's offer there. It's a little bit above the cost.
Okay, $1,000 and 60 days to pay. Okay,
The second case, I apologize. The second case, I'm really asking for a lot of leniency here from the board. Basically, what happened was that when we purchased the property, we undertook some renovations. We had a lot of stumbles at the beginning because apparently some of the tenants were drug addicts, and we took a lot to get them out. They were stealing, as we went working on the property, they would steal the copper wiring to sell it and from the ACs and all sorts of issues. Well, we moved on. We hired a contractor to replace all of the windows and the doors. The contractor, midway through the project,
had some internal issues, disappeared on us. We had already paid him for most of the job. Not only that, we had paid for the windows, for the actual purchase of all the windows, for the actual purchase of all the shutters, and for most of the installation work. So we lost all of that. We had to basically start from scratch, try to track down the materials, which we were unable to track down the windows. He said he left the shutters on the site. We don't know if they were stolen, because we went there the second he told us, oh, I left the shutters there, they were gone. So, and I know it just took a long time. Through it all, we experienced a lot of setbacks. We had a partner had financial issues and went through a separation with his wife. He didn't have any money to put into this. We finally got rid of him, took care of getting him taken out so that we can continue moving forward on this. In between it all, properties like low-income housing, they're like, it's a small one-story building, really low. And it sits on a dead end. There's a warehouse next door, so people use it as a dumping site. I've gone back and forth with code enforcement a million times, and they know that people come and dump there. So it's every 2 weeks I get a citation, and we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars hauling trash out that people leave in front of the building and in the alley behind, which we really have no access to the alley, but we're responsible for it, and people come in and dump there. So where we try to save up money to work this issue out with the windows and the doors, we have to spend a ton of money cleaning up the place constantly because people are constantly dumping there. I mean, just, it took everything out of me to get this hearing scheduled, and right after the day it was approved to be scheduled, we got a violation because somebody came out and dumped. I almost had a heart attack. I mean, I went out there, started picking it up, got people out there to help me clean up the trash because I was just terrified that my hearing would get canceled. Just that alone cost me about $400. And that's me putting in a lot of...
What are your plans for the property now? Do you have any
No,
plans?
now we actually have it I think for the first time, the last... COVID was actually okay. Despite the fact that a lot of people didn't pay, people were actually taking care of the place. And now we actually have tenants that are taking a little bit more pride in taking care of the place. And I have a neighbor down the street that's helping me out a lot. He keeps an eye out, and I have a good communication with him. So we've really come a long way with this, but we've lost a lot of money with contractors. With the roofing issue, we paid a company called Harris Affordable Roofing to fix the roof. We tried to file an insurance claim.
Yeah, I'm here on a permit issue.
No, I know, but I'm trying to give you the history because the issue is that to get the permit closed, we had to hire a new contractor. And every contractor you come to, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. They know it's a commercial property. We can't pull an owner builder. So we basically had to scrape up the money to basically start from scratch and do it all over again. Then the city almost wanted new plans because we had to find the right shutters. We couldn't find the same shutters, and the shutters are approved in the plans. So it was just like, I felt like I was a hamster spinning on a wheel everywhere I go. I'm just trying to give you the background because I'm asking for, I can't afford thousands and thousands of dollars to pay you back. I mean, on a mitigation. So I just want a little bit of leniency from the city to understand what we've been through.
Yeah, the
about all of
problem
this.
is it was out of compliance for 3,090 days.
I understand.
you
Now,
know.
the thing is that it was an expired permit, but the property itself, we've maintained all of our licenses with the city. We've taken care of it. We haven't had any substantive issues in that sense. It was an expired permit, and it was just the difficulties that we had to go through to get. If we could have done it ourselves, we would have done it. But unfortunately, the city requires that we hire a contractor, and it was hard to find a contractor that wanted to do something that somebody else started. And that would
Okay,
work with us as far as payments. We basically had to pay a contractor twice, pay materials twice, not only for the windows and the doors, but also for the roof, which we took care of real quick. When we hired Harris Affordable Roofing to do the roof repairs, he died. And then his family, Tracy and Kenny, were fighting, and nobody would finish the job, even though we paid Gary for it. So we had lost all the money we paid the roofer, had to hire a new contractor to do the roofs. So both issues, we've hired contractors twice and paid for it twice.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna reduce the fine to $6,500 with 90 days to pay.
Much appreciated. Thank you. And may I ask, are you Ms. Jordan? Thank you, because I must have driven you insane. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Our next case is on page 2. Case number CE21070988. Case address 1345 Northwest First Avenue. Owner Victor Perez. This case has a total lien value of $7,600 and city direct cost of $315.48. The city is requesting $3,800. This was a citation. No appeal was received before the deadline.
Good morning, Your Magistrate. My name is Victor Perez. I own this property, and I live on one side of the property, and I rent the other property on Airbnb, the other side, in order to supplement my income and basically pay my mortgage. So the first time that I was in a hearing was online, and I wasn't prepared, so I wrote a letter. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read it right now.
Okay.
Okay? On May 13, I signed up for Airbnb and listed my property. Through the signing process with Airbnb, it was stated that taxes will be taken out and paid on my behalf, and to submit an EIN number to them by 12/15/2021. At this time, I thought the only thing I had to do was to get an EIN number by 12/15/21. On Friday, 7/30/2021, I received a violation stating the property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. I had no idea that the certificate of compliance was required. I called and talked to Officer Jolie, who was on the violation as a contact. He was very helpful, explaining what needed to be done to get our certificate of compliance. He stated that we needed to have a landline, 2 wire fire alarms, a fire extinguisher, an emergency exit map, a barrier for the hot tub area, and then an inspection by his department. He also stated Gabriel was our assigned contact for any further questions and to schedule our inspection. After a few calls over 2 days, I was able to get Gabriel on the phone. I asked him for some clarification on the wire fire alarms. He was very helpful by directing me to the requirements online. He also suggested that I look online, as I may need to register with the county, state, and federal governments for the Airbnb. He never said registering with the county, state, and federal government was a part of the violation for being non-compliant. I immediately started a company with LegalZoom called Dragonfly Fields Limited Liability, which cost me $750 on LegalZoom. Stated the EIN number will take. They stated that the EIN number will take 4 to 6 weeks for me to receive it, because the IRS required the application to be mailed and will not accept an online application. I needed the EIN number in order to do any of the other governmental applications. On 8/6/21, as required, I mailed Gabriel all this information and requested an extension due to the delay with the EIN number, as I could not register for anything without the EIN number. Here's a copy of the letter I register the letter I mail. In the meantime, I worked on the violation by becoming compliant and installing the landlines, wire alarms, fire extinguisher, and the barriers, and called Gabriel for an inspection. An inspector came and did the inspection and passed with no issues. The inspector said I did an excellent job and that I passed and I will receive a certificate of compliance, which I did. Here is a copy.
Can I interrupt you? Why did you continue to rent and advertise the property when you were going through this process?
I thought I didn't have, nobody recommended me, and because I thought I was compliant from the first moment, I didn't know I had to stop renting it and get on compliance. Because in my mind, I was in compliance. An inspector came and he did the inspection. Okay, at this point, I'm very relieved, think the violation is closed. I did everything required of me as fast as possible. Could have and I now have the certificate of compliance. I was still waiting for the EIN number to complete governmental application for taxes, but I thought I was 100% compliant with the city in regards to the violation. After the inspection, I thought I was completely done. I went abroad to Africa for 2 weeks, and when I got back, I had a letter stating I have a court date for the violation. It was scheduled 2 days right after I got home from vacation. I was completely confused. I logged into the court case online to explain there must be a mistake, that I have a certificate of compliance. Then, when I was told that I was not compliant and I had a fine for $7,600, and the call was ended. That was the first time I was here online. My Airbnb at this point produced $7,650.97, which I have the copy here of all the earnings that I did.
Okay.
I was dumbfounded and bewildered. I honestly 100% thought I did everything I was asked to do, and I had no idea the violation was adding up fines. I thought it was closed once I became compliant. In my letter to Gabriel, I asked for an extension to get it done to the 4-6 week EIN wait time. I talked to him again to schedule the inspection, and he never said anything was wrong, and I was told I was compliant. I'm asking you to please reconsider my fine, as I truly believe I was doing everything in a legal manner. When I got the violation, I acted as fast as I could. I know that because I didn't understand the law and the rules do not excuse me from the law or the rules, but I truly thought I was doing the right thing and communicating with the city to Gabriel with a letter I sent requesting the extension. If I knew everything that I needed to do to Airbnb, I wouldn't have it listed until everything was in place. It was a huge mistake on my part and a big misunderstanding. And I will understand if you applying a fine, just not that amount of money, because I really don't have it. I work in the landscape business. That's the place that I live. That's for a cert to supplement my income, and I don't have $7,000 to pay that amount of money.
Magistrate,
Yes,
the city would like to accept the applicant's offer,
okay.
Which will be?
$760.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I would like to say thank you to Mrs. Drake, who was super helpful as well over the phone, and he followed up. And
Okay.
thank you very much.
We appreciate it, thank you.
And I will receive the information to,
Yes, you'll get an
where
order.
should I send the money?
Make sure you pay within 60 days,
No problem.
or the original fine will be reinstated.
No problem. I will surely do. You ladies have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Our last case for today is on page 5. Case number CE 15080795. Case address 1601 Northwest 15th Street. Owner Endless Investments LLC. This case has a total lien value of $23,400 and city direct cost of $2,169.94. The city is requesting $11,700.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Ori Darman.
Okay, and what do you want to tell me in mitigation of this fine?
So I bought the violation is from 2015. I bought the property in 2017 as a short sale. I wasn't aware of the liens when I tried to refi this year because the COVID situation, the business wasn't doing so well, so I had to refi to take some money out. Then we found out that there is the violation, and then we took care of it. We were back and forth with the city fixing it. It was issues with grass, so we have to, when we put the grass, people ruin the grass, so we put grass maybe like 4 or 5 times, cost us thousands of dollars. And I would like to pay city cost if it's
Okay, well, city
Possible.
costs in this case, because this was out of compliance for 936 days, is $2,169.
That's fine.
You didn't do any title work when you bought the property?
We did. That's the thing. So when I did title, I got the title free and clear. And that's what was weird. But after 5 years to go after the title insurance for $25,000, it's a little bit of a headache, which I wouldn't want to go through this headache after 5 years to come back to the title insurance. So when I bought it, it was free and clear.
So
It didn't come up. The liens didn't come up. It was a violation that came up, and we fixed it. It was for like I think gravel or something, like a gravel road or something like this, if I remember correctly.
right.
Which we did the driveway, but for grass and it was for grass after it never came up when we purchased the
Well,
property.
what's before me now is not the grass, it's the gravel driveway. And there was a commercial vehicle parked there, but that looked like that was complied fairly early in the process. But the gravel driveway,
I did it as soon as I found out. And I have many properties in Fort Lauderdale, and I always been complied with you guys and taking care of never have issues.
city attorney want to say anything else?
Not really. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, well, yeah, you do have insurance for this, so. All right, I'm gonna reduce it to $5,000 with 90 days to pay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
This concludes the special magistrate lien reduction hearing for January 20th, 2022.